Saturday, 18th of July, 2026 at 1:41 p.m. here in Amsterdam, North Holland, the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. This is your Dev and Design Astrology podcast where two guys are weeks away from creating the world's best astrology software. I am your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
If this is a little bit better put together, it's only because I have now done that thing now that I've been recently doing, even though we have done like 148 episodes, where I didn't hit the record button.
It's amazing how easy it is to miss that. Like we need a pre-flight check that just says like press record.
You know, I blame you because now we do a pre-flight check where we check the sound and I'm thinking, oh good, we checked the sound, we're all good to go. Now, two parts of the pre-flight check. Check the sound and check that you hit the record button. By the way, looking good in our matching greens. We're your payment integration SWAT team today because today's episode is called Bye Bye Baby, as in we want you, baby, to buy the product within a couple weeks when we get our real version out.
Stop saying a couple weeks.
I know. The twinge of pain does not go away. It's motivating, but also scary.
But also it's important to let our customers know, our potential customers, which is going to be all of you.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear. You all want to purchase
You all want to purchase this thing.
That it's not going to be purchasable in 2 weeks.
No. I said a handful of weeks. I didn't mean a couple as in two. I meant a few weeks.
Is it a few?
Look, we're not. Let's go back to we're not making any promises about what date we're specifically going out. Trey and I have a date in our minds. We are saying our date to ourselves right now.
We're doing good.
But we're not going to say that date out loud.
No.
Why? Because that's insane to do, right? We're not going to jinx all of that. But we did consult with an astrologer. We have an elected date. We are going to do our level best to get to that date, and Mr. Henry and I are feeling stressed out about that, which is why you're getting the pressured speech, why you're getting the matching greed, and why you have this as your title. Mr. Henry's going to go through some of the product purchase status stuff that he has done, and he's promised me a demo that is a bit of a surprise, so we'll find out what that's all about. And then we are going to show you some better stellar button brightenedness as part of the product. But before we get to, and then we'll give you thanks, but before we get to all of that, we of course always start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry, I do know what it is unless you change it up on me, but like ready for it again.
Let's do it. You have 50 euros, which you must use for a single purchase of an online retailer, for example, Amazon.com, or here in the Netherlands, Bol. The better answer, by the way. If you're in the Netherlands, use Bol, don't use Amazon. What do you buy?
And I answered immediately a laminator because laminators are the best office supply that you could ever have. Like objectively, like they work for kids, they work for young adults, they work for adults. You laminate things out of fun, you laminate things out of pleasure, you laminate things to make them durable.
You laminate things to make them serious. Like if you hand somebody a piece of paper,
seriousness.
Yeah, if you give somebody a piece of paper that is not laminated, what is that? That could be anything.
That's just ephemeral. You know, that's something that you can write on. Not, you can of course take a dry erase marker and write on the laminate and then wipe it off. Laminates are amazing.
But no, this piece of paper I have wrapped in plastic.
Yes.
In non-biodegradable plastic.
Because this thing needs to last 1,000 years.
Exactly.
I was having a boat ride with a friend, and there was a person on there that is a professional who works at a company here in Amsterdam. And we were talking about how horny we get for collecting skills, especially when it comes to like professional development. And the question that was levied was, what is your favorite professional development class that you have taken? She had an answer. My answer was precision questioning. She's like, oh, tell me all about precision questioning. I said, you know what? I'll do you one better. I've got a laminate of this, and there is a certain like, and I have it. It's back there. I have had this laminate. I had it in Berlin. I took it back to the States. I brought it back here. That laminate is basically a security blanket for me on how to do precision questioning. And the reason why I have this is because it's so. If you ever do training, especially in-person training, and you have a takeaway that you wanted to bring to that thing, you want to make that event very special, to be like, here is your cheat sheet or here is your guide for this, turn it into a laminate. People will be so impressed with you. Kids love it as well. I was also saying before we noticed we didn't record the video that, we have this thing like the Easy Bake Oven for kids. I think my first laminator is such a great kids thing. Anyways, all of it.
Kids.
For certain kids, yeah. Indeed.
Certainly for me, I also love office
Yeah,
supplies.
as an office supply
Get that as a
kid, I would have been over the moon I'm over the moon today. Just talking about a laminator makes me want to buy it.
I mean, the reason that you have this information on this piece of paper is because it is wrapped in plastic. It would not have survived all of this travel and everything else.
I kind of want to get this video done so I can start walking and find 50 large on the street so I can buy a laminator. That's really all I want to do at this point.
The question is whether or not you could actually buy a laminator for 50 years. But anyway, we don't need to.
You know what?
It's in the ballpark.
We'll figure that out later. Mr. Henry, what about you? What do you want to buy for 50 large?
A yoga pad, yoga mat. No, a yoga
ball.
No, a yoga cushion. That's what they're called.
Okay, yoga pat mat ball cushion.
Yoga cushion. It's the.
Why don't you explain the job to be done by it? Maybe it'll be a little bit easier for the viewer.
I meditate kneeling, and I find that this is a really good way for me to be able to maintain my focus and to maintain my posture. It's a little bit easier than trying to sit upright in a chair for me. I've done this for a very long time, but as I've gotten older and older, it gets harder and harder for me to maintain that position.
Imagine sitting on your heels?
Sitting on your heels. I actually do it naturally in a lot of different contexts. Sometimes just I will sit sideways in a chair on my knees or on one knee because it boosts me up a little bit because I'm short. And so, but it is definitely harder now for me to maintain for like 20 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes a kneeling position.
I could do 15
So I
seconds.
just need, but if I have one of those little cushions, which is just like a little round cushion, but it's very hard, it's not super hard, but it
gives
pretty
support.
firm. And you just put your butt up on that, and then it gives you a little bit of extra like space between the heels and the butt and the circulation of the legs. And
So
I'm at the age now where I need that.
Euros. That can't be 50 euros, right? That has to be less than 50 euros.
I would imagine it's less than 50
So
euros.
instead, well, not instead, but like let's get you the yoga cushion mat ball thing, and we'll get you those like flooring painter like knee pads as well, so we can do the dual thing, right? So you can sit on that with your knee pads.
Actually, my knees are good for that for
now.
for kneeling. Yeah,
For now, but
sometimes they
imagine-
get a little bit funny when running, but
Imagine you're now all of a sudden taking the pressure off of your heels. Now all of a sudden you're sitting on your yoga ball mat thing. Now all of a sudden your knees are a problem. Essentially, one day we're going to get you into a cocooned egg.
my little meditation.
You're
ball.
like, I need
Actually,
to go
that-
into my
that sounds kinda
cocoon.
great.
Much more than 50 euros, unfortunately.
But not if you piecemeal into it. Then it's just 50 euros each time.
Yeah, just 50. Well, I didn't realize we were doing that. Could you imagine the kind of extensions to Laminator that would happen there? I would want Mecha Laminator. I would want like the transformer of Laminators.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, good check-in, everyone.
check-in.
Good check-in. Mr. Henry, tell us a little bit about what have you been doing and what has been up this week with you?
Yeah, so as Jake mentioned, we have been doing all of the ground. I think we mentioned it last week, too, probably for the last few weeks.
At least 2 weeks now. Yeah, we've been on this train for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's a difficult train, but we are narrowing in on being able to actually give you something that you can purchase. And Jake's doing a lot of work now on the various inroads to this, but I'm going to show sort of some of the back end pieces of it. Yeah, so I'm going to start out on the front end here, and I'm just going to open the chart for now, and I'm going to go to a thing which will only be available when you purchase Cosmic, when it is available for purchase. And so
in a few weeks, whatever that is.
Yeah, exactly. So one of those features, which we've demoed a bunch and is amazing, is the feature to jump to any configuration.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see here, there are no jump to buttons. Now, I am going to switch over. We don't often demo this, but this is our administration backend. And this is a completely new installation. So you can see that I just have like my one user in here. Where we need to start out is a new thing that we have in the system called a feature bundle. I am going to create a feature bundle, and I'm going to say that it's a product. Now we can also do entitlements, which is a separate thing where we can just give people stuff if we need to for testing and development and other reasons.
So for example, you might remember that I keep talking about this inner circle thing. When you are part of the inner circle, which is our beta program, you would be part of the entitlement for that. So it's not a product that you would purchase, but rather it's something that we give you access to through an entitlement.
It's 1,000 euros.
1,000 euros.
And then I'm going to select the features which this feature bundle contains. So the feature jump to, we have internally been calling find just because That's its legacy name.
Yeah.
And Zodalco Releasing, which would be another thing that we would include in the bundles. And so now here I can see that we have this bundle. It has 0 rights, which we'll come back to in a second. But if I switch back over to my little screen here and I go to settings and I go to manage purchases and subscriptions, you can see that I have Cosmic Pro 1.
This is exactly how we're going to market it.
1,000 euros.
We're just
Yes.
going to be like,
So-
Cosmic Pro 1 is 1,000 euros, do it.
What I can do is I'm going to hop back over here to the dashboard and I'm going to come to my little user here and I'm going to say that Cosmic Pro 1, which is now a feature bundle here, is being granted for demo purposes. So now you can see that there is a right that has been added. We have some metadata around it and so forth. And if I come back here and I go back to my
Back to Cosmic.
I'll go back to the now moment and click on the moon, you'll see there's still no buttons here.
What happened?
Oh no, that's because it hasn't been activated.
Activate that.
If I activate it and come back over here,
Boom. Isn't that cool though that like you could purchase it right away and then
get
like
it. And you're in the running app.
and just get it right in the running app. You could be on the phone with us. Imagine,
Yep,
by the way, you
works the
just
same
call
way.
us and you say like, I don't know what happened here, whatever. And then we apologize. We say like, you know what, we're going to give you access to this for a little bit. Why don't you give this a try and let us know? And then while you're sitting there, it just pops into your screen. It's kind of like, I mean, I would say it's magical. It's kind of insane that it works that well.
And so you can see also here it says that again, this is all placeholder, but it says, you own this. This is something you have.
Looks a little minty. I love it. A little fresh.
Yeah, I don't know where I got these colors
That's fine. You know what? It's
Doesn't
fine.
matter.
We'll fix it.
This is showing everything except for the actual payment part, which goes to our payment provider and is kind of like a separate process there. However, the surprise thing that I wanted to show is Jake and I often go back and forth on the objects in the system and how the objects in the system relate to each other. And this is important for having a shared understanding of what's actually in the product. When we go through the process of design, we talk about ideal states, we talk about having every piece understood, even if those pieces are not going to be in the product anytime soon, or
Right.
possibly maybe not even ever.
Right.
But at least we know that they are things that could be on the roadmap so that we don't paint ourselves into a corner. Once you have migrated the database, and you can see that we have the last migration, there's no outstanding migrations here. So there's a new button here that says View ERD. An ERD was what's called an entity relationship diagram. It shows you the structure of the database. And
Wow.
this is great because this is generated based on the actual schema of the database in real time.
That's cool.
Yes. So when
I don't know if our viewer is going to care much about this, but I love this.
all of that feature bundle stuff that I just demonstrated, this is how it is represented in our database. We have these feature bundles. They have names, descriptions, price, et cetera, et cetera. So over here, you can see that a right is defined as having a feature bundle ID. So the right is an association between a feature bundle and a user. Makes sense, right? It's the right to do that
It
thing.
is the right.
And then we also have another record here, or it's called Molly Records. Molly is our payment provider. And this shows the information that we need to store in order to bill you, verify that the billing is up to date, all of that kind of stuff. So to deal with our payment provider. This is great because when Jake has questions about the object map,
Because
he can come here.
you're not looking at my screen right now, but I'm just going to switch over to mine and like I do stuff. It's always that way. I do stuff like this in order to create understanding, and you'll see that like throughout here, there's like a bunch of things that are flagged because I've got questions for Trey, and there's definitions of all these things. Like Trey and I work collaboratively to figure out what we're going to build, not only from like the needs of the business, but the needs of the users and the needs of everything, and like the needs of a payment processor. So we think about that stuff, but then we don't just toss something over at each other. We kind of go back and forth. And it's really nice now to think that like there is this representation that I do in system design, and then there's this representation which Trey does in system coding modeling.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the other thing though that's cool about this, as you're modifying schema and updating migrations and things like this, you can simply view the schema at a particular point in time. And I have to just give a big shout out to AI on this one because
Big
this
AI
is
shout out.
yeah, big AI shout out because this is the kind of thing that we just would not have carved time
We
out
would
for
never have carved time for that.
in pre-AI times.
Right.
This would require too much development effort, and the value wouldn't be worth it for the amount of time that we would have to spend on it because a developer or two would probably spend several days working on this. And the ability to just tell AI, you know what, this is on an admin dashboard. We don't really care that much about it. Obviously it's secure because it's on the dashboard, but as far as the implementation goes, it can be a little bit messy. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have our exacting standards as some of the other things that like the customer-facing application does. But for us, it's great because we can just right here in our dashboard, we can click a button and view the database and get a nice visualization of how the pieces are glued together. It's just cool.
Looks great. Nice job, honey.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's your
Big snaps for you. Big snaps. Speaking to our exacting standards, as Mr. Henry likes to bring up, let's talk a little bit about Stellar Light and how Stellar Light is kind of a poop show. So I'm a dark mode boy, and you can tell from the software that I like things that are very textured and layered and all of that stuff. So the Stellar stuff looks great. And Stellar Dark looks amazing. And I was always like, Stellar Light, the light mode just doesn't look very good. So here we go. This is what the product looks like today, right? We have this grayish button here and this reddish button here. Like I'm just showing two button styles. And this used to look a little bit funny. We've already corrected the perspective card to look a bit better.
Yeah, which I think we demoed.
And what you can see is like the change, like look at the cast new moment button and look at the change sect button. You're like, they don't look like they're part of the same family. This looks heavier, this looks dingier. These look heavier, these look dingier. So I spent some time thinking about like how to not be so heavy and so dingy. Take a look here at these little buttons here for the out and the red. And just, if you switch back and forth between these two, it looks so much better. It just like even the smallest changes, the buttons can look so much better. And if I scroll this down to here, the change sect button was in a weird spot. So we put it in the right spot with the right spacing and everything. And now it like balances better. It looks better. It just feels a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the new button styles.
Let's not put a head on a hat. That's all it is. It's really great.
Exacting standards.
Exacting standards. Here they are. We're weeks away from giving you a product that you can buy. It better be to our exacting standards. Otherwise, we shall publicly flagellate ourselves on episode, 150 or so. Mr. Henry, what should the good viewer do with the rest of their day, in your opinion, in your humble opinion, I should say?
They should buy something from an online vendor.
Maybe you should find $50 or 50 euros on the street ahead of that.
Or laminate something.
Oh, if you have a laminator, write us a comment below.
Somebody has a laminator.
Tell us what you're, of the viewers here, yes, tell us what you're laminating. Be well, take care. Let us know what you're laminating in the comments below. We love seeing your faces every single week. We're gonna see them again next week. And thank you so much for spending this Saturday with us, whatever day that you spend with us. Until next time, be well, take care, and goodbye.
Bye.